being joined by the Deputy Director General of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, that's Adams Oshiomhole. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7. Let's begin by getting your thoughts on the outing in Edo State earlier today.
Well, thank you for having me. I believe it was a great outing. Not only that we have a very, very huge turnout, but we are looking at the quality of those who came out. There were people who were very see the presidential candidate and to hear him out. And for those who have been following the campaigns, you will agree that unarguably, Asiwaju made the longest speech today, and he spoke on all the issues that are of concern to the people of Edo State, and indeed the people of Nigeria. He spoke about power supply and the crisis of you generate, you can't transmit, you can't distribute. I said all of that will be readdressed in a way that we wipe out those contradictions and generate power, which is a precondition for industrial takeoff and for job creation. And he talked about revenue drive, and he reminded us of the fact that it's not, it's being business, it's being in politics. It's governed Nigeria's most complex state that account for about 45% of Nigeria's GDP. Reminds of all the challenges he faced and how he addressed them. Of course, for those who are a little concerned about somebody dusting somebody, and I think he answered that correctly, that Lagos people were punished for the fact that Asiwaju had huge initiative on how to find sustainable solution to the crisis of power supply, like when he brought Iran to Lagos. He talked about the fact that at the point, many people thought that Atlantic Ocean was going to swallow Victoria Island. And today, he transformed that. He reminded the young people that there are no miracles to job creation. He will deal with the issue of industries, the manufacturing sector, and he will create jobs. And for Edo, he reminds us that we are richly endowed. We have rubber, with which a lot of things are possible, including the manufacturing of tire. And we have huge manpower. We have everything that a nation needs.
All right, let me come in
here. I agree that God has been merciful on Nigeria. He gave us everything that we needed. And he said, Edo can easily become, another is presidency, Edo will become a power hub, you know, because we have, for example, currently we have Azura power plant, but we have no power in the street. And he wondered how, for example, governors are celebrating street light, which has been taken for granted in many local government areas. And I think he spoke on all the issues.
Indeed. And just as you have mentioned,
to be ready.
Okay, let me quickly come in. Comrade Oshiomhole, sir.
What is ready to offer, namely
if you can hear me,
skill acquisition, and create an enabling environment for people to create wealth.
All right, all right. Indeed, he also promised yesterday in Kano State that he would make Kano a mega city.
And if you were watching the visuals, you will see that we had a very active crowd that was responding to the message. They were listening attentively and they were responding. And for me, if you ask me, not because he said no, I think he made his best speech today.
All right. Indeed. And then you have mentioned what you said about power in Edo State, making it the powerhouse. And I was saying earlier that indeed he also promised that in Kano State, the state will become a mega city, the same way you have in Lagos. We know that Edo is strategic. It's one of the states in the South-South. But at the moment, Mr. Oshiomhole, you would agree with me that I can hear you, but I'll need you to please listen to this
hearing me?
question
My
so you
point is
can
simple.
provide answers.
You know, when we talk about how Nigeria
At the moment,
diversity should be a blessing
5 of the 6
and not something that should be the basis for, you know, people falling back on their primordial sentiment. What you can find in Kano, and I'm excited about the huge, unprecedented crowd that came out from Kano yesterday. And I hope you don't mind me if I say that that crowd makes a statement about this argument, whether Kano is more populated than Lagos or Lagos is more populated than Kano. Because we obviously saw more huge crowd in Kano than we have seen in Lagos. And Kano people do have challenges that are specific to that part of the country on account of their own location, looking at the climate and all of that. And it has solution to, you know, what every part of Nigeria need. And it is how we are able to manage this diversity, this natural endowment that you find in one part, you don't have in another part, and you have in another place, you don't have in another place. If we weave all of that together, Nigeria is destined to be the greatest country, not only in Africa, but even in the world. We have the men, we have the brain, and what we need to convert brains to asset is education, is skill acquisition, and it's talking about modern technology. And he has the youth to recognize that there is no miracle. It's about government creating the environment to enable you to drive and, you know, achieve your own aspiration. I was very excited about the speeches, and I know that Asiwaju has what it takes to deliver on everything that he said. And he talked about, I mean, what is the secret? Why are people relocating to Lagos? When last have you had one tribe fighting another tribe in Lagos? Lagos has, of the 774 local governments, there is no local government that is not well represented in Lagos. Some may be more in Lagos than others. And of course, you talk about who can unify the country. These are serious issues. And whoever can unify Lagos can unify Nigeria, because everybody is in Lagos. I think he spoke on all the issues. And as for the hopeless ticket of Atiku, if your headmaster say you are failing class, those who like you might be crying, and those who don't like you will just clap. Atiku's script have been marked by Obasanjo, even though Obasanjo too had a huge obligation to explain why he did some of those things he did. You know, that lay a wrong foundation for Nigerian democracy. You know, the policy of do or die ties to President Jonathan, who said do or die is wrong. Nobody should die because somebody wants to be president. So we need to keep tormenting Obasanjo with his own contribution, because we're talking about corruption today. It was his government that decided to go and pay legislators 50 million and 100 million, you know, to give him a third term. And I particularly spoke to the father, because I was, if Obasanjo referred to me then as alternate president. And the issue was not that I was alternate president, it was that I had the capacity to mobilize Nigeria to say no to his attempt to convert Nigeria to a war-party state. And he was behaving as if he was doing a favor to Nigeria. So I think all of those things we spoke to today, and for me, it was a very exciting day. And right now we are having fun, celebrating, you know, what I think was a very, very successful rally, even though Asiwaju has returned to Abuja, preparing for tomorrow's, another engagement tomorrow. We are here celebrating what I believe today's rally represents.
How it all turns out at the polls. I've been speaking with the Deputy Director General of the Presidential Campaign Council of the APC, Oshiomhole. Thank you very much for your time on TVC News at 7.